Have you ever wondered why you keep being triggered by the same thing, or you have to learn the same lesson again and again, no matter how much healing work you have done? I had the same thing before. Once I learned to heal and move on from one situation, there always, after a while, something else happened and I act just the same always. And I feel like I have to go back to the beginning and learn again. At that moment, I feel miserable and I start to wonder that why my life just keeps happening like this, why everybody is doing the same thing to me. Recently, something changed. I realized this loop happened to me because I was all this time focusing on fixing the problem, the actions, and the people at that moment. But I never truly look deep down inside and see what's happening with me, with my own emotions. Your feelings can affect your thoughts, and your thoughts can literally alter your reality and your destiny. That's why it's really important to learn about your emotional patterns. When we try to get to know what's deep down inside us without any psychological knowledge, it will be challenging. But what if I tell you that there's actually a tool to help you with that? Imagine seeing your emotions mapped out like a web, and you can finally see guilt is the center of your emotional loop and also a key to grow from it. That's exactly what happened when I tried this AI journaling tool called Inner Maps. I have been working on my emotional patterns with this tool for like 2 weeks now, and to me it's basically like journaling meets insights, where it just let you journal every day, and from everything you write, it will analyze your patterns like an AI pattern hunter. Today I will share with you my experience with this tool and how I found out what is truly happening under all those overthinking. So now let's explore what this tool can actually do. When I first sign into the page, I will see there are 3 sections: a journal page, an AI pattern hunter, and my inner map. Every day I will just put in some entry like a normal journal. So you can see I already have a lot of entry before. With this view, sometimes I don't want to be distracted by my previous entries. There's a lot of text here. I can enter the focus mode here. It's just a blank page. I can enter everything that I feel at that moment, so there's no distraction here. Another thing is someday I don't feel like I have any idea about what I'm gonna write. They also have a journaling prompt library for me. They have a lot of topics from self-awareness to shadow work to daily life. And then I can just choose one of the prompts to start with. For example, like I would choose this question like what small changes could have a big impact on my well-being. I would say something here. Click save. And voila, it will be added to your entries, and everything you input here will be learned, will be studied. That's what really cool, because sometimes you just journal and then later on you forgot about what you wrote on those paper. It feels good, but now imagine you have an AI that can remember everything that you wrote for you and see what's really going on, summarize everything. And with that, now we can move to the next tool where it's called an AI pattern hunter. This is not like normal chat where you chat with AI, you say what you feel and it will tell you something, because this AI already learned everything that you put before in the journal. So now you don't have to tell the story again. You can just start a conversation with it. And then you can just ask it any question. For example, I'm gonna ask it, what is going on with me right now? Tell me what's going on with me right now. To be honest, this is my favorite feature about this tool because it just gets me. It's very relatable. You can see here it's telling me that you are cycling through guilt, pressure, and low-key riff about who you have left behind and who you think you should be now. And on those insights that I can rely on, it will continue to ask you some questions so it can explain you better the situation, or it can also learn from this conversation what's your pattern. Remember that everything you write on this tool will be learned. I will give you an answer, something like this, and it will continue to give me more information and more questions. So this conversation just keep going on. I love talking, I love discussing, so I will just tell it to write a little bit more, giving me more insights, and also make it more clear or make the question shorter. Everything I request, the answer will be adjusted to my needs so that I can feel very natural in the conversation. I will tell, please make your answer more specific. You can see now the answer is much better, and it will also ask for your confirmation if this answer got better. When you are unsatisfied with whatever you learned from the chat, you can move on to the next thing that's also very cool is my inner map. If you first log in into this platform, you will see here a button to generate a new map, but I have already entries before, so I just regenerate it so it can update to my new entries and my new information every time I input to give me a summary about what's going on in my inner world and also a map. We can see here guilt, sadness, and anxiety is the center of my emotional patterns, and you can see how they connect to each other with these lines. And if you don't really understand, you can click into each one and they have an explanation what is actually this problem. One thing I hope they can enhance with this tool is make this answer a little bit longer and more specific to my story. For example, they can say you have this guilt because of what happened, but don't worry, I just found another way to do that. So basically I just copy everything here, and then I will just go back to the AI pattern hunter and start a new conversation, and I will tell it, this is what I see in my inner map. Can you explain it to me more? Voila, you can see it tell me more specifically about my guilt. So I just walk around between the map and the AI pattern hunter so far, and then I will just ask it how to solve the problem or what should I do in a day to make myself grow from these patterns. One thing to know that you still need to show up and input into the journal. AI cannot just guess what you're feeling, but it can make everything better to learn about what is going on underneath on those emotions. Will I keep using it? Honestly, yes. It gives me the clarity I didn't even know I needed. And actually, I have so much deeper things that I need to tell. And I also want to try to solve this pattern to see if one of those dots on my inner maps can get smaller or even disappear from the map. Let's see. So yeah, if you're curious, they have got 3-day free trial with no payment upfront. You can give it a try, and if you do use it, please tell me in the comment section how you feel when you first see your inner map. And until then, please be gentle with your heart.